Hey guys, how's it going? It's kind of late here, and I'm in a different room, as you can tell. This is the clutter room. This room has all the clutter in it. So, yeah, if you'll excuse that, I'd really appreciate it. This kind of felt like coming in this room tonight because this is the room where I kind of just like sit and think, and I do a lot of artwork, and like I do my schoolwork in here. I don't know, like I do like hobbies and my little projects in here and stuff. So it just felt like the right kind of place. I was sitting here thinking tonight, like way too much. And if you can see, ooh, my eyes are like bloodshot because I'm so tired. So I should really be in the bed. Um, but I mean, I'm just gonna lay in bed and think about this. So I just decided to make a video. Everybody has heard, okay, everybody in the personality typing community, I assume, has heard of the INFJ Doorslam. Yawn, right? Yeah. I personally don't like that term. I just find it to be like really off-putting. Like it just kind of automatically makes INFJs, like all INFJs, seem like we're just these crazy, um, just crazy individuals. Like, oh my God, don't track any mud in the house. That INFJ will door slam you. Don't or you better respond to that text message, or that INFJ will door slam you, right? You get the point. It's funny because I've really been struggling with my lack of relationship with my mom. I have been struggling with it for years, and it's something that I will continue to struggle with until I mean, work on it and come to terms with it, and achieve like a peaceful mindset about it. It is what it is. But I'm getting older, and I'm just becoming even. I am an INFJ, so I'm pretty reflective and introspective, but I'm becoming even more so as I'm getting older. It's a lot of clutter. Hang on. Still just the scatterbrained as normal though. Yeah, I'm becoming a little more introspective and a little more reflective, if you will, like just thinking a lot. But the thing is, it's not as negative as it used to be. Like I'm not getting stuck in my like NITI loops as bad as I used to. You know what I mean? Like I can think with a more rational. I have a more rational thought process, I suppose. I mean, it's still that TI, that introverted thinking, being a third in our cognitive function stack. It's pretty immature. It's like a young teenager. So when I get stuck in my NITI loop, typically, it's I go down the rabbit hole, and I think horrible negative thoughts, and I turn them all around on myself, and I cast myself out, and I worry about, oh my God, I've done all these things wrong. No wonder XXX hates me, or no wonder, just no wonder, right? And I put all the blame on myself. Well, lately I haven't been doing that as much, but I'm still I'm still spending a lot of time thinking about pretty, deep things. I mean, heavy emotions. I mean, INFJs will always do that, but I'm being a little bit more kind to myself, and just kind of trying to think realistically a little bit. So I was thinking the other day about how, well, let me just put it this way. I was thinking about the INFJ door slam, right? I personally do not like that term at all. It puts a bad taste in one's mouth pretty much immediately, especially if they don't know anything really about the INFJ. Let's say one of their friends said, "Oh, I'm an INFJ. You should look it up and read about me," because INFJs can be a little self-centered, especially when it comes to learn about me, right? Because we feel so misunderstood. So it's like, hey, I'm your INFJ friend. Why don't you go look up my personality type? And it's inevitable. In my opinion, it's inevitable that you're going to find the INFJ door slam in your research. So, what is this INFJ door slam? I'm assuming that most of you that are tuning in already know what it is, but just in case you don't, Essentially, an INFJ door slam is when the INFJ has a social relationship. Okay, it could be a family member, a best friend, a coworker, a family friend, just somebody that has been in your life, and typically somebody that's closer to you than just like, oh, yeah, I knew Rob in third grade, and he was cool then, and then I saw him again in 10th grade, and then let's put it this way, it's usually not an acquaintance, right? Um, a door a door slam is 9 times out of 10 going to occur with someone who's very special and important to you. That's what I've found. Romantic relationship, that could be one. I've never personally door slammed. You know me, I'm going to get sidetracked. I've only door slammed twice for sure. Okay, I've door slammed 2 people for sure. I'm sitting here kind of thinking over here, like, have I door slammed that third person? And I'm not going to get into it, but yes and no, not really, because door slamming is very like abrupt, and it's to the person who's being door slammed, it's usually very shocking, and like they weren't expecting it, right? So this third person, if they weren't expecting it and if they were shocked, then I don't know, maybe they need to reevaluate our relationship, right? So I'm going to go ahead and say I've definitely door slammed 2 people. Those 2 people were very, very close to me. So anyway, getting off on sidetracks. Let me get some water here. So I was thinking about my mom, the lack of relationship that my mom and I have, right? And I was thinking about how basically ever since August of this last year, I had to door slam her, okay? And INFJs, hey, how's it going? You guys that have door slammed before, you know what I mean when I say, I had to. It got to that point, you know? So anyway, a door slam is essentially when the INFJ cuts someone out of their life completely, okay? It's not more than 9 times out of 10, it's permanent. You can go back from it. You can come back from a door slam. You can reopen the door. It's possible because anything's possible. And I actually have experience with that myself. I'll get into that later, but more than 9 times out of 10, once a door slam occurs, it's locked. If you get my drift. Sorry, I'm actually going to smoke a cigarette, and the cool thing is, you're not going to smell it, and it's not going to blow in your face. But anyway, yeah, it's a nasty habit, but so anyway, yeah, like I was saying, when an INFJ cuts someone out, it's done. It's done. No going back typically. Um, so here's the thing. I don't like the term because a lot of people don't understand it. Okay, a door slam or cutting someone out completely from one's life seems completely just like cruel, right? I mean, it's mean, because everybody has flaws. Everybody makes mistakes, right? I mean, it's it. I feel like the term door slam makes people think of INFJs like, oh, you better not track mud in through that INFJ's house because then they'll door slam you. They'll cut you right out, right? Or oh, you better not leave them on read or read. I'm so tired. Leave them on red, right? You better answer their text or their message or whatever, or else they'll door slam you. They're an INFJ, right? Wrong. No, that's not at all the case. Okay, so I really need that to be clarified right now. An INFJ who does this door slamming is an INFJ who has thought long and long and long and long and hard and hard and hard and hard about doing this door slamming, okay? You don't wake up in the morning and then one little thing goes wrong and then you're like, oh, that's it, I'm door slamming them. I can't believe this, it's it. Nope. We we INFJs give warning after warning after warning after warning after chance after chance after chance after chance. I mean, it's ridiculous to the point where other people in our lives are already sitting back going, you've given that person enough chances. You've understood. You've put your I'm so tired. You've put your feet in their shoes enough to where you should just pack your bags and say bye, right? That's essentially what we do, but we actually take longer to do it than most people do. a door slam, okay, any person or personality type is capable of door slamming, okay? Here's the thing, right? You don't have to be an INFJ to cut a toxic person out of your life. Every single person on the planet is capable of doing that, and every single person on the planet, I'm not saying every single person has, but many, 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 many have, right? So it's not an INFJ thing. We're not special unicorns, okay? The thing is, we give so much of ourselves. I have a theory about, the INFJ personality and how one becomes that, right? But it's, we learn early, early, early on, either through trauma, neglect, which of course is trauma, having to, growing up with someone who has serious mood disorders, right? Mom, things like that. I feel like we're our little sponge brains already at an early age learn that if we don't give chance and chance and chance and chance, and if we don't keep understanding and relating and understanding and relating and putting the feet in the shoe and putting the feet in the shoe, right, that we're going to be rejected because 9 times out of 10 we are as kids. I mean, that's literally textbook example for me as a kid with my mom. I mean, I really don't want to get too deep into, I don't want to talk about her too much, but I just want you to understand she has mental health issues, okay? And I'm not saying I don't, but hers are like, I mean, just take my word for it, okay? They're beyond, okay? My mother has serious mental health issues and she should have never ever had a kid. I'm her only one. I'm glad she stopped after me. I'm very glad that I don't have siblings that had to experience that with me. On a selfish note, at times I am upset that I don't have siblings, that I didn't have siblings to help me go through these things. I was all alone. I had to deal with my mother by myself, and it was, please just take my word for it because I don't want to sit and talk too long about it, but it was torture. It was complete torture. And look, mm, I'm not sitting here saying, "Well, my life's hard." Okay. So many people have it way the fuck worse than I do. Okay. So look, but what I've learned in therapy, and since I am in school to become a therapist, is that everyone's trauma is their trauma and they had to go through it, and it is valid and it is difficult. And you know what's funny about people who suffer from trauma? They always say, well, my trauma is not valid because look at Joe over here. He went through this, this, and this, right? So why am I complaining? That is literally a telltale sign of someone who's been through pretty bad trauma, right? You're going to say, no, 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 no. I'm not the victim here, which no, I'm not playing a victim card, but I'm saying, nothing happened to me, right? Because look over there, these, I say it all the time to my friends and peers, what do I have to complain about? There's children that don't have food and clothing and things that they need. It's terrible. And I'm not going to cry in this video. So next, but anyway, right. So I feel like the INFJ personality somewhat is planted. It's not intentional, but it's planted at a very young age, and we learn that we learn coping mechanisms and we learn survival mechanisms, and we learn we have to learn at an early age how to survive, essentially, right? And that is by giving chance after chance after chance, because in my case, mine's with a parent. This parent is in control of me. I mean, what am I going to do when I'm 7, 8, 9 years old? Go live on my own? Go get a job and get my own food, get my own clothing. I mean, of course, my mother is very, very intimidating and mean and horrible, but I had to abide by her whatevers, I had no choice. I was going to live on the street, right? So I learned how at a very young age, much before 7, 8, 9, unfortunately, how to cope, how to survive, right? Anyway, I'm going on and on. Just trying to explain that I'm just trying to explain why INFJs A are the way they are maybe right now, and then B why we door slam, okay? So I'm getting into the door slam again, right? I have a few notes here, so just bear with me because look, I mean, this is my brain and it's just a lot. So essentially like I said, a door slam is when an INFJ cuts someone out of their lives completely, and 9 times out of 10, it's permanent. The reasons for it are extreme toxicity, perhaps a parent or a sibling or a whomever, whatever the social relationship is a narcissist. That's the case with my mother, unfortunately. Let's see. Constant emotional pain, you know, betrayal, being taken advantage of over and over and over again. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's an escape from emotional abuse, essentially. I gotta relay this because I'm just talking and not smoking, but I like my I like my cigarette at night. Sometimes I have a glass of wine, but not tonight. But anyway, all right. So basically, another thing about INFJs, we live inside of our head. Okay, it's like our inner world. We are constantly there. We, especially having extroverted sensing as our inferior function, we struggle to live in the moment. We struggle to live in reality. Our reality, a lot of times, like I've tried to explain to friends, but it doesn't seem like they get it. But I every day that I'm alive, I feel like I'm just kind of floating. I'm just kind of here. Where I'm alive is up here. There's so much going on up here. Like it's so, I can't even begin. Like it's like one of those little fill in the blank comic books. I have like 3 copies of those. I have like three blank fill in the blank comic books to draw in. And it's like every little scenario in life for me is like a little comic scene, you know. It's literally, I don't even know I'm doing it. I catch myself. I catch myself doing these things, you know. I'm not living in the present. I'm not here. So sometimes what we do, especially since we're people who have a lower self-esteem typically, like I don't like the terms unhealthy and healthy INFJ, okay, or any type, but if you want to do the lingo, an unhealthy INFJ, if you will, is very low in the self-esteem department. Okay, we learned that at a young age. We came from these narcissistic parents or these, you know, whatever terrible relationship that we had in our life that we had no control over, you know, and we have terrible self-esteem. I mean, some of the things that my mother used to say to me, it's a wonder I have any self-esteem at this point. Seriously, I'm shocked and surprised. I've done a lot of personal work, and I actually have I have self-respect. I have a pretty good deal of self. I don't want to say self-confidence, but I'm okay with myself. Like I like myself. I'm not. I haven't gotten to the love part yet, but I'm getting there. I like myself. I think I'm pretty all right, you know. And it's a motherfucking wonder. Just some of the things that she would say and do is just crazy, you know. And anyway, the door slam. So the door slam occurs when someone in our life has gone too far. We've given out chance after chance after chance after chance after chance. And the person, you know, unfortunately, sometimes the reason they get so, they're so, what's the word? Like wowed by the door slam is because they're not, they're not capable of noticing these chances. Like we INFJs, getting back to thinking, being living in here, we think so much differently from everyone else. That's why we're only 1% or less of the population, right? Honestly, 1% is kind of a high number in my opinion, but I'm toying with it. We might be less because I don't meet people that think like me. And I tell you, I've just expressed this to a close friend recently that I'm getting kind of frustrated because it feels like I have to explain myself like time after time after time, but then like it's in these deep complex ways for someone to even try to start to understand where I'm coming from or what I'm saying. But it's just so, to me it's so like duh, you know. And I get frustrated because when everybody else says things to me and I'm like, oh, I get it. Oh, of course, that makes perfect sense. I can relate to that. You know, it's just crazy. So yes, we do live in this strange I don't want to say la la land, but it's like a fun park, and of course, all fun parks have scary rides, right? Um, we're just not here with everybody else on the planet, so it's almost as if we speak in code, but we're not trying to, you know. So I'm gonna tell this story. It's gonna be quick, and then I'm gonna try and wrap it up because I'm very tired, obviously, but. I'm going to change names for the sake of respect out of this ex-friend, okay? So I have an ex-friend. She and I were friends for, I think, once the door slam occurred, 10, pushing on 11 years, okay? And I'm talking about we were like best friends. Well, I watched this individual. Okay, let me start. When we first became friends, I was 20 years old and she was 37. Okay, so right there, already there's an age difference, but that's how I operate. I date people way older than me. I hang out with people way older than me. I was doing it since I was a kid. I used to get notes home, like Kendall won't play with the kids. She wants to sit with the adults. You know what I mean? She wants to sit at the teacher table and eat her damn sandwich and blah, 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 right? So me being 20 and she being 37 wasn't really that big of a deal. It's not really relevant. But my point is, right from then, right when we started to become friends, I noticed some red flags, and I, in my late teens to my mid 20s, I was notorious. I was like the poster child for ignoring red flags, right? And I know I'm not the only one. So, I just went on and on and on, and also being 20 years old, she partied a lot, she drank a lot. I liked to drink at that point a lot. We liked the same music. We worked at the same place. We had so much in common. It was ridiculous. So we had a freaking fun time together. And it was almost like the pros outweighed the cons. And even when I look back now, it's like, yeah, they still seem like they kind of did. They did outweigh the cons. So I was like, this is really fun for me, and I'm literally going to ignore these red flags. The red flags were essentially that she sometimes takes advantage of people, especially with money or material items, favors. She just, if somebody offers her a favor or offers her money or offers her anything, she just takes. She's not that person that says, "Are you sure?" Even if she really wants it, she doesn't even do the polite thing by saying, "Are you sure?" No, no, no. Or you keep it. You need it more. Are you sure? Or I'll pay you back or whatever. No, she's just like, oh, she sticks her hand right out. She's like, "Great, I'll take it." And that immediately irritated me, but I was like, "Oh, she's fine, blah blah blah." There were other things I noticed that I noticed immediately that I had to like really watch what I said around her, because all of a sudden I'd tell her something and then 65 people knew about it the next day, especially since we worked together. It was terrible. And me being 20 years old, I was confused. And, INFJs, we can be slow climbers, and also I'm a Capricorn. Oh, Lordy. So a Capricorn INFJ, I mean, I'm like, I'm climbing the mountain as slow as possible, right? It's crazy. So as mature as I was when I was 20, I was very, way more, what's the word I'm trying to, naive and overly, I don't want to say overly trusting, because I've never been overly trusting, but the naivety kind of got in the way, and I was overly trusting with her. I just trusted her. I trusted her because she was older. And also, in hindsight, now that I look back, I was definitely looking for a mother figure, right? I mean, 17 years is, I guess it's old enough to be my mom. I mean, it's pretty young mom, but I was looking for a mother figure. I was looking for an older woman that wanted to pay attention to me, that wanted to have fun with me, that wanted to do things with me, that thought I was cool, that, listened to me and stuff, and thought that what I had to say was interesting. And, she used to always comment that I was her smartest friend, and, just pay me compliments and made me feel good. And my mom never did that, right? It all makes sense now. But so anyway, long story short, well, long story still long. I went, let's see, how old was I? I was 31. So yeah, I went 11 years in this friendship, and things remained pretty much the same with her through year 8. So 8 years of our friendship, she remained the same person, essentially having the same red flags, but it's like at that point I was already used to them, right? All of a sudden around year 8, she just, well, first of all, I can't put her personal business out there, but a lot of things started happening in her life, and some of those things were not easy to deal with. But here's the thing about, I'm going to change her name. Here's the thing about Robin. Her name's Robin, right? Here's the thing about Robin. She she creates she creates a lot of drama. She's that type of person that thrives on drama, needs drama in her life. Sorry, checking phone. Um, Basically gets bored without drama, and I know other people like that. A lot of women are like that. Okay, I'm not judging, but I'm saying she has to have chaos around her, and it's almost like plethoras of it, like stacks. I mean, it's like she's created 3 things already, but now she wants 2 more to add to it, and it's a lot. So being the INFJ that I am, and us being tight friends as we were, I was always there for her. I mean, she knew it. She knew that she could call me at 4 in the morning and I'd talk to her on the phone. I would come pick her up. I would bring her, I would pay for her to get out of a sticky situation. Anything. I would do anything for that woman. I mean, and yeah, I did a whole lot. I don't think I've done a lot for a lot of people, but I don't think I've ever done as much as I have for Robin, right? So anyway, things started to change. Well, we ended up working together, and we had never worked together before, and things at that point were already getting really rocky. And um, you know how we have that intuition. You know, we just know. I mean, we just know. I knew that she didn't want me to work there with her, and I just knew. And it was a stupid little minimum wage, like cashier at a deli job, right? It's like it's nothing. It doesn't matter to me. I was only working there because honestly, because I just wanted to work with her and another friend that worked there. I was like, cool, I want to work with some friends, and they love their job, and so I want a job that I love. You know, sounds great. So the first week I'm there, you know, she's training me, and then I can really tell. I'm like, you know, she just doesn't. She has a completely different attitude. She's starting to not like me, and I could just tell that she didn't even want to be around me at work. So first week after work together, I rode with her to the bank, and I said, Robin, I want you to be complete, like, you know me, be completely honest with me. Like, if you do not want me to work here with you, then please tell me. I will go find another stupid minimum wage job. This is not important to me. Like, I straight was like, dude, our friendship is way more important to me than this. And like, I didn't mention this, but I'm thinking it's already on the struggle. Like, it was bad already. Like, I'm trying to not over talk, but damn, right? It was already bad at that point, and I'm like, dude, if things get any worse, it's over, right? Well, no. Another thing about Robin is that I'm finding now, she's a pathological liar. Like I'm talking about, like pathological, like textbook. Like she just lies, and she doesn't. She's obviously been doing that since she was a kid. I mean, she doesn't care. She has no remorse. She'll look you straight in the eye and lie and just go about her business. So, of course, she was like, no, 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 you know, stay or whatever. Well, all right. Well, you know, me being the dummy I am and all this, I went ahead and stayed, and I was there for about a year and a half. Long story short, again, longer story long, longest story long, right? Um, she, she, without getting into detail, she got me fired from this job after after a year and a half of of me trying to talk to her about what is the issue. Is everything cool between us? Clearly, it's not. Please tell me what I've done so that I can work on it. Would you like me to go find another job? I mean, I asked her if she wanted me to go find another job literally like 10 times the whole time I worked there. And no, everything's cool, right? I mean, and at that point, I was invested in the job and I was making good money and I liked my job. So I'm like, well, actually, I really don't want to leave it for you. So I decided to stay. I mean, that was me. I was like, no, I'm going to do this for me. I'm going to stay. Well, anyway, without getting into too much detail, she betrayed me in such a way that no one has ever betrayed me before, in multiple ways, actually. And the end result was me getting fired from my job. And I have never been fired from a job. I've been written up at a job twice, maybe. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty confident twice. I've never been fired from a job. Never. And me and my other friends that work there knew it was her. So here's the thing. So all the thing that was just one thing that really bothered me, but that was literally like the cherry on top. So my example is here's how a door slam occurs. Okay, that took 11 years of pathological lying, of taking without giving, betraying me, using me to death, like walking all over me like a fucking carpet. You know, wiping her muddy shoes all over me. I mean, blah blah blah, etc. etc. And then she got me fired from the job that I liked. And so here's the thing, that was in November of that year. So literally starting the next day after getting fired from the job, I started working on this little letter. And see, this is how I door slam. I don't just bam. Some people say like they just bam, they cut you off. They block your number. Um, when they see you, they don't like they ignore you completely, like you're basically like dead to them. Well, since I had left the job, I didn't have to see her anymore. So I started working on this letter, and it took me about 3 weeks. I want to say it took me about 20 to 25 days to write this letter, and it was about 5 pages long, front and back, so look like 10. And there wasn't one cuss word in it. There wasn't anything disrespecting her person, right? Like, I didn't say anything that was like, oh, actually, I'm sure I disrespected her person, but I didn't make anything up. Okay, I didn't embellish anything. I hate the lighting on this computer. Every little thing that I brought up or spoke about in this letter was completely 100% true, and I could back it up. And it took it. So let's say I wrote it from November 1st till November 25th. Okay, it took me until December. I think it was a week before Christmas. Which, oh, that's even worse, Kendall. How could you do a week before Christmas? Right, I sent the letter a week before Christmas, so it probably got to her house like 5 days before Christmas. Oh, that's so terrible. How could you send that at Christmas time? I didn't give a shit, to be honest with you. When an INFJ Doorslam say don't give a shit anymore, okay? So I didn't give a shit. I didn't care what day it was. Could have been her birthday for all I fucking cared. Whatever. I put it in the mail and that's where it went. But see, my point is, it took me a while. It took me from November 1st until December 17th to put this letter in the mail to Robin. And, I immediately felt better. After I sent the letter, I went ahead and blocked her on social media. I went ahead and blocked her on my phone. Blah, 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 blah. And it I gotta say to you right now, the what I've been looking for some help in is how to like grieve, okay? Because the process after putting that letter in the mail and knowing that she read it and then going and then blocking her and not having any contact. I mean, I didn't have any contact with her for like, I don't know, probably close to a year, maybe. I'm not really sure. But um and P.S. I only had contact with her like a couple of times, and now we don't. We're done. We're still not friends. The door is shut and locked this time. But anyway, the thing is, INFJs don't want to. We don't want to door slam. It hurts. It sucks. Like I said in the beginning, door slamming occurs with people who are extremely close to us. Usually, typically, almost always. And we have to like grieve. It's like someone dying. I mean, Robin died. She died. She wasn't in my life anymore. I didn't even go to the funeral. I killed her. I mean, I killed Robin and she was no longer in my life. I couldn't talk to her. I couldn't see her. And despite all of our trials and tribulations and everything and our tumultuous I hate that word, relationship, she still was somebody that I loved, you can love people that suck. People love me. I suck, right? You know what I mean? I mean, it hurt. And I got to be honest with you, that was in 2019. The end of 2019, here we are at the beginning of 2022. So it's been 2 years and some change, about 2 years and a quarter. I still very occasionally have a moment where I'm sad. I don't miss her. I don't want her to be my friend anymore, but it's sad. It's a shame. It really is a shame. And here's my thing with when I door slam someone, I almost expect that because since their relationship had been so important to me, I almost expect for them to reach back out and be like, "Oh my God, how can I fix this? This is insane." I mean, if it were me and someone sent me that letter, I, I would die. I would drop every single priority in my life, or at least rearrange things. And excuse me, at least rearrange things in my life and make that a fucking priority and be like, these things that you told me, maybe she didn't realize all the way, right? Even though I had had 9 million talks with her and INFJs are very blunt. We will tell you how things are. I told her how things were in a very polite fashion. I'm not a nasty person. I told her in a very polite fashion at least 9, 10 times what was going on and what was my problem and why I had an issue with this. And it wasn't just like, oh, I don't like that, and then walks away. No, when I tell somebody that I don't like something about them or I don't like what they're doing, I explain why. Okay? So that's what the letter was. I explained why. Everything was explained why. I had a reason for why. It wasn't just like Bash Robin Day, right? No. You know what? She never reached out. After 11 years, she got butt hurt by the letter. She showed it to her husband. I've later found out she showed it to her husband. And what's really unfortunate for her, I was going to say funny, but it's not funny. What's unfortunate for her is that she actually showed some people at our workplace, the place where she got from where she got me fired, and I had I had two people reach out to me saying, "Damn, if I were her, I wouldn't have shared that letter because you kind of like went right to town and everything in it is like we agreed." So it really didn't make her look good to pass. She was passing the letter around trying to look like a victim, right? I think that might have been a mistake. So anyway, clearly it hurt her, but it was obvious that door slamming her was the right choice because she never reached out to me. I never heard from her again. She didn't care. So anyway, I'm having an issue with my mom. I've had an issue with my mom for 28 years, it's safe to say. I'd say about 28 years. Yeah. Yeah, that's about right. And I just, obviously someone like a mother, moms tend to be very important to people, and there's a very important relationship in life, and I gotta say it just plagues me. And I had been looking for um okay, I have door slammed my mom actually. I have door slammed her since August. I haven't contacted her. Thanksgiving, Christmas, and her birthday have now expired, and I have spoken to her 0 times. No card sent, no gift sent, no phone call, no text message, no note on her car, nothing. I have door slammed my mother, and it feels good. My family and friends are really proud of me. I have support there, which I so appreciate. But the thing is, man, it's the grief. It's not guilt. I don't feel guilt at all. I feel really, I'm proud of myself. I am at a point where I'm proud of myself now. It's been about 6 months and I'm proud, almost 7. I'm proud of myself for doing this. I've needed to do it for a long time, but I'm grieving. It's my mother. So I was looking for videos on the subject of how to grieve after you've door slammed because, all I can, or not because, and all I could find was videos on INFJs are terrible people because they door slam. And here's 5 reasons. I love these. These are the best. Five. What is it? 5 hints that an INFJ has door slammed you. Right? Or five things to do to an INFJ that will result in getting door slammed. It's like this is fucking. Oh, and what my favorite part is? They got 61,000 views. It's just fucking ridiculous. I'm looking for a video that's like how do we grieve? How do we process this and feel and continue to feel confident in our choice and continue to feel proud of ourselves when we've had no choice. I had no choice but to cut my mother off. Do you know that for 2 decades, since I was 13 years old, I have had friends, well, not friends, I've had family members from both sides of my family. Multiple people from her side of the family tell me to cut her off. People then when I was 13 years old saying we can't believe that we're surprised you're even in touch with her, Kendall. We wouldn't blame you if you weren't. She's terrible. And I'm over here sitting here feeling bad. I'm feeling not once again not guilty. I miss her. She's my mother. It's a fucking here's the thing about door slamming someone. It's a shame. That's what the problem is. It's a shame. It's a horrible shame that it has to happen and it doesn't make any sense. And I had dinner with my cousin tonight, my first cousin. She's the daughter of my mom's sister. And she updated me about my mom. And I'm not going to get into it, but my mother is walking around playing the victim. Still, she is 50. She's turned 59 years old. So she's essentially a 60-year-old woman, and she's still walking around playing the victim. Meanwhile, according to my cousin, the family members have said, I'm going to change her name, have said, Marianne, this is you. You're the one who's done this. We've sat back and watched you treat your daughter like shit since she was 5 years old. And you're complaining and crying that she doesn't have contact with you? So it's just crazy to me. So the door slam is working. Obviously, if she didn't care, she wouldn't be saying something. But it's also not working because she's using it as another tool to play the victim. But then again, it isn't working because she's so boring and predictable at this point that everybody in the family expects this. So anyway, long story short, I need to figure out, I need some help with grieving. grieving a door slam. Okay, so I tell you what, once I do some personal work on this and start to come to some conclusions and figure some things out, I'm going to make a really good video. I'm going to make an actual good video for once and try to explain how I was able to grieve once I'm able to, and what to do, because it's not out there. I'm not finding anything of value out there. There's a couple videos, but nothing of value. It just says, oh, write in your journal about it or go for a walk. Mindfulness techniques are wonderful, but they're not going to resolve this. Okay, when you have to door slam your mother, and you've been needing to door slam her for almost 3 decades, I don't think going for a walk or you know writing in your journal, which I love journaling, and I love going for walks, I don't think those are going to fucking resolve the issue. Okay, so I promise to make a video on that if and when I have mastered even a little part of it. And also, if anyone wants to help me out, help a sister out, and leave some comments. If you've been through these things and you do have some tips on how to grieve and how to deal with this situation, this painful situation, please help me out. Please drop some comments. I'll take anything right now because it's terrible. I miss my mom, and it's a fucking shame. And I'm not saying that I'm going to open the door. I'm not saying that we'll ever have a relationship. I don't know. I'm not God. My crystal ball has a huge crack down the middle, okay? But I am a person who, I am very easy to forgive someone. If you sincerely look me in the eye and you say you're sorry and you sincere apologies, we can work on things, okay? And it's just I'm not getting it and I'm not having it and I gotta walk away. I had to walk away and I need to know how to grieve, okay? So I gotta go to bed. I'm so tired, if you can tell. So thanks for sitting through this, and please, if you have any tips on how to deal with this, please leave them below. And also, if you've been through a similar situation, if you're an INFJ and you've had to door slam someone, please feel free to leave your story below, because we're always the one relating to other people. It's nice for us to feel related to, okay? So hope everyone has a good night, and I'll catch you next time. All right, thanks for watching.